What is going on, guys? It is Killer Drone, and welcome back to my Minecraft How to Build series. In the last episode, we created this starter house, and you can check out that video up at the top right-hand corner of the screen now. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading over to the mountainside, and we're going to create ourselves a dwarven mine entrance. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get right into it. So first things first, as with all of your builds, you want to pick a location. Location is important for all of your builds. You want to pick an area that actually makes sense in your world. Now, I have already prepared a location over here that I think is going to look really nice for a nice dwarven mine entrance. It's over here in the side of this hill where there's already some stone exposed, already a bit of stone cleared out where I removed all of the grass from this area. And I think it's going to look really cool once we get a nice big tall entranceway in this area. So let's go ahead and start off here. The layout that is going to be in the ground is as seen below. So we're going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 block space here in the middle with a stone brick come out by 1 and over by 1. Then we have a row of 5, then out by 1, then in by 1, and we have a row of 3. So 3, 5, 1 block, and then a 7 block gap, another 1, 5, and then 3 again. So that is your layout for your initial blocks. So to start off this build, we are going to start with a basic archway here in the middle, and then we're going to build up the walls around this. So come to your innermost 2 blocks and build up by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remove the top block and add in some chiseled stone bricks, and remove the bottom block and add in some smooth stone. Do the exact same thing on the other side. So 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you should be left with 2 pillars that look like that. Now on top of these pillars, we're going to take some stone brick stairs facing inward like this. So you have an upside down L. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side with a stone brick stair facing like that. On top of those stone brick stairs, place a bit of smooth stone with an upside down stair on top of that, with another bit of smooth stone, and then an upside down stair like that. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So smooth stone, upside down stair, smooth stone, upside down stair, and now you should be left with something that looks a bit like this. Now what I like to do here is I like to take a bit of stone brick and just come straight across this guy like so, and then add either a stone brick slab or add in a stone brick stair upside down. I think in this case I'm going to go with the slab because the stair is going to look just a bit too bulky there. So that's going to be our base archway that we're going to build everything else around. So still focusing on your main archway here, we're going to add in some bits of detail to really bring the player's focus to this center area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to where this chiseled stone brick is and add some stone brick to the side of it, and then some stone brick stairs on the bottom and the side upside down. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, and what we're doing here is creating ourselves another smaller archway inside of this much bigger archway. Now I'm just going to connect up each one of these stairs with some cobblestone slabs in the middle, and that's just going to add us a different texture in the center to kind of draw our eyes toward. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make kind of a staircase over top the entire arch itself. So we're going to come to where this smooth stone is, and we're going to build 1 block out, and then we're going to just staircase up the side just like so. So you should have up a block, over a block, up a block, over a block, and then we're going to come 1 above the top of our arch here and just bring it across by 3. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Build 1 out, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, and then you're going to have this nice big bold arch overarching your other arches. It's kind of going to get a little bit deeper here in just a minute. Now on the backside of this, what I recommend is putting in some type of block that has value, but is not something that you need a ton of. Something that I have in my own world is something like gold. I have a gold farm, so I can spare some blocks of gold to go in here as decoration. If you happen to not have a ton of gold, then you can use emeralds, diamonds, whatever you have a lot of, just something that's going to draw the player's eyes to this area and make it look like these dwarves are rich. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come to the back side of this area where it's a bit ugly, and we're going to pretty this up. So come with a strip of stone bricks across the bottom, just like so. Make sure you close in this gap behind this stair. And then what we're going to do is just come up with some stone bricks here and here in order to make us kind of some strips here in the back. So just something a bit like this. And then what we'll do is we will add in a piece of gold there with a stone brick on top of it. And then gold here, 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 and then here, here, here. So as you can see, we have this really, really ornate archway that's going to bring the player's focus right into this area. Now let's go ahead and bring up some walls around this area and really define this. So what we're going to do is over on these side walls, you're going to want to build up to this point here. So let's go ahead and count that out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 blocks up, and you're going to want to do the exact same thing on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So as you can see, as we start adding more walls, this is going to get more and more pronounced. Go ahead and do that for all 5 of these blocks and all 3 of these blocks on each side. So bring all of your walls up to that 11 point. So now you should be left with this big, bold, bright entranceway into your mine shafts. But now you can do a little bit of texturing in order to make this look even better. So one of the things that I like to do, instead of having these big plain walls, is to actually work with a gradient. So what I'll do is I'll sometimes come down to the bottom here and I'll make it look like this area is a bit broken up. Just sprinkle in a bit of cobblestone here and there in order to kind of break up the bottoms of the wall. It really adds a nice level of detail, especially if you get a fair amount in, and just have it creep up the wall ever so slightly like so. Now, toward the top of the wall, I would like to make it look like it's been repaired over time. So I'll probably just come with some polished andesite and just kind of mix that in down the wall ever so slightly. So kind of as you go toward the top, it's been weathered and repaired by using andesite by the dwarves. It just adds a little bit of texturing to your build and makes it look not so flat. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna mix a little bit of this in on each side. I may bring this cobblestone up just a bit, make it look really, really broken down here at the bottom. In fact, that doesn't look so good. Put that back in. And maybe there, and there. That's looking nice and broke up on that side. We can even bring the andesite down to where it meets with the cobblestone a bit, like so. And that looks good, so it looks like it's gradienting upward. We can even maybe do another cobblestone here, another cobblestone here, and then bring this andesite down to there. So as you can see, it makes a gradient from really broken up to maybe not so broken, but maybe weathered and repaired up at the top. So I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side and just get us a nice gradient going on in here. Another thing that you can add into your walls to add even more detail is going to be these cracked stone bricks. These also, in my texture pack at least, do not connect up with cobblestone, so you'll get a little bit more cobblestone texture if you use these in place of the stone brick. Now, this is just in my texture pack. If you switch over to default, you don't have this problem with these textures connecting up. But if your texture pack happens to do that, just use some cracked stone bricks. Usually, people don't think to take the gradient that they're doing with this over to the cracked stone brick as well. So you can kind of get away with using this instead of the stone brick in order to get you an even more broke up looking texture at the bottom of your tower. So that is some nice texturing here to those walls. Nice gradient going up the sides. I really like how that turned out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start detailing in front of the walls in order to once again draw more attention to this archway and to the center. One of the great ways that I like to do that is add statues to each side of an entranceway. It just makes things feel a little bit more bold, and I usually like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to where this wall is, and I am going to place a stair right here. So one out from this wall and then diagonally by one. So I guess if you're counting from this wall in this corner, out one, out two, and then over by one, and that's going to be the first foot of our statue. Now you can make a nicer looking statue than this if you know how to, but this is a basic statue that I really like to do. So regular stair, then a stone brick, then an upside down stair, and then we're going to bring up by 2 blocks. And then on the other side, what we're going to do is we are going to have a stair right here with a stone brick, stone brick, stone brick. And we're going to take this stone brick out and add in a stone brick stair. Now in the middle here, what we're going to do is add in a bit of polished andesite, just like so, with some chiseled stone brick on each side. So just to recap, we have stone brick stair, stone brick, upside down stone brick stair, 2 stone bricks on top of that, a stone brick stair with a stone brick, and then another stone brick stair going into like this. So now we have 2 legs, a torso in the middle, and now 2 shoulders. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of stone brick out of this, another bit of stone brick out of this, and then a stone brick stair upside down like that. And then for this one, I'm just going to do 1 stone brick and then a stone brick stair down like this to make it look like a arm. So now we have 2 arms and 2 legs. Now we just need a head. Now, there's 2 ways that you can make this head. You can either make it out of stone or you can make it out of andesite. I think I'm going to do stone for this one just because I think it's going to look good with that as its background. So there you go. You now have yourself one humanoid looking statue right outside of your dwarven entranceway. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So now this is what we're left with, a nice big bold archway with 2 statues on each side, which looks absolutely amazing. But you know, this area is still pretty easy to get to, and I don't think the dwarves would want somebody coming in easily in order to steal all of their treasure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a lava river out here in front. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to come over to this 3 wide wall, come up by 2 blocks and knock out this block right here. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other wall and knock out a block there. Now, in these 2 blocked areas, we're going to add a bucket of lava to each one of them, flowing down into a lava river. I'm going to go ahead and start clearing out this river in between these 2 areas. You can do this however you want to in your world, but I'm just going to kind of make it a semicircle all the way around. So you guys go ahead, do it how you want to in your world, and I will do it here just kind of roughly. Okay, so I now have my lava river area dug out, and what I want is a 7 block wide area here at the widest point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to make a bridge from this area over to that area before I add in my lava, because once you add in all the lava, it's going to be very hard to get across here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to line myself up with the center block here, and I'm going to place myself down a stone slab on this side, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So 3 stone slabs, and then a stone brick stair right here, just like so. And we can go ahead and remove those 3 stone brick stairs. They were just placeholders. And then the exact same thing on the other side, 3 stone brick stairs, just like that. Go ahead and remove those 3. And then what we can do is just connect this area up with some stone half slabs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And then bring it all the way across like so. It's gonna look pretty basic, but we're about to start adding in some detail. So on top of this stone brick stair here, go ahead and add a cobblestone wall, as well as on this side. Duplicate that on each side, and then connect up these walls with some spruce fence gates. There's a cool little trick with the spruce fence gate that when they're connected to walls, they actually drop down a bit, but when they're connected to each other, they are on this level. So you actually get a nice little archway with your fence gates. Do the exact same thing on the other side, and now you're left with a very, very constricted area. So nobody's moving their army through here. Everybody has to fumble through here one at a time. Now let's start detailing this bridge out a bit. What I want to do is come on this center block and add in a stone stair just here to the center. So let me go ahead and add, I guess, a stone slab underneath. And then there we go. I can go ahead and remove that stone slab and add it back if I wish to. And then off of this regular stone stair, we're going to add some stone on each side. Now you can retexture this and you can, remove this, remove that, add in a cobblestone, just whatever you want. This is just kind of a decorative piece. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Add down a stone slab, add in a stone stair, remove that, add in another stone slab, and then I'm going to redecorate this thing, add in some cobblestone, just whatever I want to in order to make this thing look a little bit better. I like this coming out a bit, but it does give them another access point, so maybe you just want to carve this out a little bit further, but even then somebody could technically jump over, but yeah, that's a little bit dangerous for them to make those lava jumps. This is where you actually are going to be coming in and out of your stronghold. A couple final touches that you can do to your bridge is you can add something like some stone walls underneath here, just to make it look like the bridge is actually being held up by something. Now this is going to make the lava kind of flow around the stone wall, so I don't know if you want that, but it is something to keep in mind that this will have the lava go around. Another thing that you can do is come with some spruce fences and add them to each side of your bridge here, and then you can add some light to it if you need to, or you may not like this in the way that it looks and you can remove those. Just kind of detail this out however you really want to. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep these spruce fences here though. I think that's going to look quite nice. Now it's time to add in our lava now that we have a way to get over into this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to those holes in the wall that I punched out, and I'm going to add a bucket of lava to each of them. Now, this is not going to be enough lava to fill in this entire trench, but I'm going to show you guys a cool little trick in order to fill in an entire area for the most part. So, as you can see, our lava flows out just like so. In order to get the most out of your lava, what you want to do is find where the lava flows to the last block and then place the lava on that block. The exact same thing whenever this lava flows out, wherever it leaves off, find that block and place your lava on that block. As you can see, when this spreads out, it actually fills in most of the area that the other lava sources may have missed. Same thing over here. Whenever this flows out, it's going to fill in a fair amount of this area. You may miss a little bit every now and then if it's like in a corner, but you can just decide if you want to put stone there or add another source block. I would probably just do stone just because it'll make it easier, and then continue with your lava on the ends of wherever your source block ends up. This makes it really easy to save lava sources, and it gives the lava a cool effect of making it look kind of like it's running through the river. Something that I didn't mention is you probably want to make sure that fire tick is turned off in your world. Otherwise, all of your fences and stuff like that are going to start catching fire, and you really don't want that. Any type of creative world that you're doing, always make sure that your fire tick is turned off. you can do that just by doing /game rule and then do fire tick and turn it to false. Most creative worlds that you're working in, and survival worlds for the most part, already have this off because, you know, decorative purposes, it's good to have wood next to lava sometimes. But yeah, I hadn't done that for this world yet, so just a little FYI to you guys so you don't make the exact same mistake that I just did. Got a bit of rebuilding to do. Speaking of turning fire tick off, another really cool thing that you can do if your world does have fire tick off is you can take out a flint and steel and you can just light anything on fire. So a little cool thing that we can do is on top of this statue's hand, we can just add flames on top of them, and that will never go out if fire tick is turned off. And it's actually a really cool effect that you can use. Like I said, most creative worlds already have fire tick off, but if you're playing in single player, just do /game rule, fire tick off. But once again, some people may not like to do that because some people like to watch the world burn. But for creative stuff, it's very useful. It's very useful. You can get some really cool things. Basically, fire doesn't spread if fire tick is off, in case you guys don't know what that command does. So this area is looking pretty good already, but now it's time to add in some finishing touches to really bring this area together. So one thing that you're probably going to want to do is come to this side of the bridge where you'll likely be spending a fair amount of time mining, and just pretty it up by adding in some different colored stones. So add in some andesite, add in a bit of cobble, just make this area look a little bit nicer. Also grass, get rid of all of your grass. Close up your wall if it has any access to the sunlight. You can do this by adding in cobblestone as like an edging or anything like that. Just make sure that everything is filled in quite nicely. Something like over here, I might even would take some stone bricks and just continue this up and then add some cobblestone along the back there just to close this off and make it look like a wall. Another thing that you could do is add in some stairs to the top here, just to add a bit of decoration. So add in something like upside down stair here, and then another upside down stair like, let's see, can I get this? Like there, and then just connect them up with a stone brick slab here. It's another little added detail that you can add to the tops of your walls just to add in a little bit more pop if you feel that it needs it. Just little small details to add stuff in and make things look a little bit better. I'm going to start detailing up this pathway down here, remove all of the grass, close all of these areas off because as you can see, I have a couple of issues here where it comes a little bit too far out from the mountain. So I'm going to clean that up and I'll bring you guys back in just a minute. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is the mine done. I went ahead, I added in a few more upside down stairs there just to add a bit of detail to the wall so that it's not so flat. I cleaned up the back and closed it off with some cobblestone and some stone, made it go directly into the mountain itself, and then I also textured this pathway in this area, made it look like this area right off the bridge is very used, very cracked up, and then over on the sides not as used, and all of this is going down into an area where you could have a dwarven bar with like a mine and stuff like that. In fact, that may be something really cool that I could do in another part of this series if you guys wanted to see kind of an interior to a mine built. That could be something really interesting. Maybe if this video does really good, I will consider doing that. But otherwise, just make yourself a nice little mine shaft down there and collect yourself up some goodies. Now, other things that you can do is add in things like barrels in order to make it look like kegs of ale, because dwarves are normally depicted as being heavy drinkers, stuff like that. You can get kind of creative with this. You can also add more fire on top of netherrack around here if you wanted to do that. Lots of really cool things, but this is just kind of a basic entrance to a dwarven mine that you could use in your world. Anyway, guys, I think that is going to be where I wrap up the tutorial section of this episode. And let's actually take a look at this guy at nighttime with the shaders on. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful dwarven mine entrance for your world that you can make and add, and I think that it looks absolutely amazing. I did have to add a couple of lanterns here at the entranceway because it was just too dark. I think that's mostly though because we don't have any light coming from the interior, but just adding some iron bars with some lanterns hanging down from the entranceway still adds a nice little touch, and it adds light to the area. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be where I end up today's episode. I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the episode, as well as if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day.